Talking about things that aren't acceptable, what's your view on the BBC? Do you fund it?
Oh well, yeah, no, I've always held this view. I've been consistent on it, and I think the TV licence is a draconian tax. It's the least progressive tax, so whether you're rich, poor, whatever.
And it is a tax.
Yeah,
I remember having an argument on this very station with a presenter that is no longer on it about the BBC licence fee, and I called it a tax, and that particular individual remonstrated with me that it was not a tax, it was almost a kind of voluntary thing. But when it is a mandatory licence fee that you pay even if you do not watch the BBC, if you watch any other channel on your television other than the BBC, you still pay the licence fee of whatever it is now, £167 a year, whereby you pay it without having any say in output or quality. There's no accountability, there's no scrutiny. That, I think, is wrong. And it was of its day, I guess, in the 1950s, whenever the BBC was first conceived, as a news organisation to provide, I mean, this is laughable now, but a balanced view of all things going on the planet from a news perspective. Well, of course, now, the BBC, of course, is roundly criticised, if nowhere else but on talkTV, for being just a hodgepodge of hypocrisy, really, and political agendas of the left, let's be honest about it. But of course now there's an increasing number of people not paying their licence fee. Something like 500,000 people in the last 12 months have decided not to pay. Now some of them will be watching the BBC and not paying. Some of them will be not watching the BBC, not wanting to have anything to do with it and not paying their licence fee. So in the last day or two, the BBC decided to issue a document, a letter, which they sent to people that they believe should have a licence fee, but that do not. And those watching on YouTube now will be able to see this. Effectively what it said is, hi, are you at home on Christmas Day? To which I suspect the answer to most people is yes, and my entire family will be around, and it'll be quite busy. Well, actually, and I'm paraphrasing here just for the sake of making a point, what the BBC licence enforcement police decided to do was to threaten to pop round to enforce upon your licence on Christmas Day. Now, how harassing, how intimidating, how disgraceful, frankly, is that letter should go out. Now, I will qualify this, that there has been a statement that has been made by the BBC after sparking this absolute outrage. A TV licensing spokesman said, these letters were sent in error. We apologise to anyone who received one. There will be no visits on Christmas Day. So that literally that was the so-called apology. How on earth does an official letter go out to tens of thousands of people threatening to visit them on Christmas Day in error?
That's just not true, is it? They were being heavy-handed.
Who do they think they are?
Absolutely.
They just, I mean, to be clear, this is not, you know, a government, this is not like the Ministry of Defence, this is not the police. This is just a media organisation threatening people, particularly pensioners, perhaps people that can't afford their TV licence, threatening them that they're going to come round on Christmas Day and disturb their family day to nick 167 quid from them. How dare they?
That will have caused a lot of distress to a lot of people, in actual fact. People of different ages, people who are unsure about the situation, not sure whether they've paid, etc. That would have caused distress, and they don't even have the courtesy to apologise properly. It's not an error. They were trying to pressure people into signing up and spending money on this draconian tax. That's reality.
Well, they've only issued this statement because they've been caught out.
Yeah, totally.
Because they didn't realise this was going to get into the hands of the media like us. And I tell you who else has railed about this is your friend Rupert Lowe, who's the Reform MP for Great Yarmouth. He's
very good, actually.
He's very good.
Yeah.
Someone's just texted, actually, can I just say? Hi, Russell, great show, thank you. I'm listening to Simon, and I think he would make a great Reform candidate.
Oh, thank you.
Is this something you have thought of? Do you want to tell them?
Well, I did stand in the Rochdale by-election for Reform, didn't I? Which was quite an experience. We had death threats and all sorts, which still need to be resolved. Yeah, it was
really?
Quite
still
serious.
ongoing. That's very serious. This is John in Essex. Reform has the values that align with working class folks, as well as being tough on immigration. Be interested to hear what he has to say. Will you stand again?
Undecided. We were talking about my wife. She was shocked at the death threats that were received during the Rochdale by-election. not least coming from Rwanda. I suspect if you get a death threat in Rwanda, it's pretty serious. It's pretty serious, and this was serious enough. I have to give credit to Richard Tice. Actually, he had immediately, because it was a short 4-week campaign. He had some security guys there. He looked after as well, but it was a pretty atrocious by-election campaign. Yeah, put my wife off me standing.
Yeah, I bet it did. But you're taking it under advisement.
Yeah. Considering.
Okay. Well, look, you need to go because you're only supposed to be here till 8, so
yes.
I really appreciate you staying.
No, it's good to be here.
No, it's really, really good to see you, and have a very, very, very Merry Christmas to you and Coco, and hope to see you in the pub again soon. We had a nice night out, didn't we, and a nice drink. In fact, we've had 2.
We had the Clarence as well. We were in the Clarence on Dover Street. We bumped into Andrew Pierce. That was a good night.
Yes, that was very revealing. Yeah. And then we went to the launch of a think tank, didn't we?
St James's, that were very posh.
Bumped into Nigel Farage, Liz Truss, who else was there? David Starkey, John Redwood, Dan Wooten, of course. Lots and lots of very interesting people. Very interesting people. So, well, you're one of those for sure.